The Own Your Intuitive podcast is for the creatives, spiritual entrepreneurs, and light workers in the world. The shining ones who have been told to dim their light and stop believing in magic. I say screw that. The time to rise is now. To bring your gifts out into the world in a big way, creating a business that feeds your soul and your bank account. You are a magical being with the potential to change the world, one human at a time. The time for you to own your intuitive is now. Hey everybody, I'm so excited to share yet another chapter of The Blind Leap with you. This is my favorite chapter, and it is something that I have learned is really everything I do with myself and everything I do with my clients to ensure that whatever it is that they desire, they are receiving. And I call this, and it's really my favorite name of anything I've ever created. Not that I created it, because everything comes from spirit, of course, but we are talking today about the magical equation. I do believe I've done a podcast episode about this before, but I really want to talk to it again because, well, you can't hear it enough in terms of what it's able to create and make manifest in your life and your business. So let's play the magical equation game today. What is the magical equation? It is everything you need in order to achieve your heart's desires. And I say heart's desires because oftentimes we get caught in our heads, and our heads then create what we believe we want in life. But oftentimes it's just following the checklist and society's version of what our life should be, or we ask so many people like our friends and family and our parents and all this, and then they tell us what our life should be. And so we actually forget what it is that lights us up as humans and as individuals. And so, tapping into your heart space and getting clear on what you want is, well, to me, the first phase of this journey as a whole, really getting clear on you, your desires, your fulfillment, your stardust, your dreams, what it is that you want. When you get into that space, when you get into your heart and you have this inner knowing, you know what? It might not make any sense to anybody. It might be completely ridiculous. It might be something that everybody's going to think I'm crazy. That's when you're going to get a hell yes for me. That's for sure. Because that's often the place and the time where you start stepping into that in which you're on this earth to do. Because it's not supposed to make sense. Who told us that what we do in life has to make sense? Where did that come from? Let's throw that out the kitchen window right now. Right now. Let's talk about the magical equation, getting clear into our heart's essence, what it is that we truly desire. And then we have all that we need in order to put three things in place to make it manifest, make it a reality, have it show up around us, be everything that we know. And the magical equation has three parts only. Belief plus trust plus inspired action equals results. Simple. What is belief? What is belief? What is belief? Right? Belief is, foundationally what you are emitting as a frequency. Your belief is, can you see yourself having loads of money, if that's your thing, wealth and abundance, bank accounts that are overflowing, being able to travel the world, giving to charities, like all the money that you desire. Maybe your belief is that you would like to find the soulmate of your dreams, right? Because that's a thing. Finding somebody who is your energetic match, who doesn't disrespect you, that, holds a container with you, that makes you both better people, that you enjoy the daily activities of life, such as doing the dishes and going for groceries. And that might be something you believe in, right? You might have a belief that, you want the perfect wedding. You might have a belief of writing a book. You could have a belief about anything. But what that really comes down to is you need to believe it is possible for yourself and be able to visualize it as already accomplished. That is true belief, that if you close your eyes right now, whatever you were thinking about while I was talking, you can see it in your mind's eye. You know it is true and real for you. You have the capacity to have this into existence. That is belief. Believing you're deserving and worthy of this great thing, right? And being able to visualize it and see it is how we begin this equation. We need to believe in our mind's eye, closing our eyes, seeing it, and then attaching emotion to it. So not only are we thinking about it, we're feeling what it would feel like to look into our bank accounts and see all this money charity to go on these vacations with our family. We see that and we feel it. We feel the person coming into our lives. I remember when I met my husband, it felt too good to be true. I dreamed him into existence. And then I was like, is the rug going to pull out from underneath me? Of course not, because I was the one to set this in motion through the vision of what was possible. So you believe it, you believe it, you believe it. You know, whatever it is that you wish for in your life, believe it into existence by visioning it with emotion. That's step one. Step two of the magical equation is trusting yourself that you have the capacity to make this happen, trusting others that you will be guided to the people who will be part of the process and the journey. Collaborations, you know, you might need to trust friends when they say, hey, I think that there's somebody that's just the right person for you. And normally you've had a real bad, you know, some pretty bad blind dates, and you're like, I don't know. There's trust. Trust is that the universe is bringing everything to me at this time in the highest good for my purpose, for whatever reason I am here. I need to release the need to be in control because the universe is working with me. And the more I grasp and I clench and I close, the less I have space to receive it. So trust is releasing the how. How is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? That's the opposite of trust, when your brain gets involved and you're going down like some sort of squirrel hole, a rabbit hole. I don't even know if squirrels have holes, but you're down creating things that are just not true. Like being open to trusting yourself, others, in whatever way that the universe is bringing these people to you on the path to help you achieve that in which you are just believing. And you trust in whatever is your source, whether it is God, whether it is source, whether it is cosmic energy, the universe, whatever is yours, that's right. Buddha, whatever, it is yours. You trust that. It creates the space for you to open fully to receive it, see the signs as they're appearing, and know you are on the right path. So you've got your belief, the vision. I can see it. I can feel it. I know it is for me. You have the trust. I can release control. I can lean into this and know that it's already on its way to me. But you also need step 3 to make that happen, because you are, as we learned, in a partnership with the co-creator of your choice, or the creator of your choice. You are the creator in co-creation with the one who created you. Boom. And so in that beautiful space, then you know that you need to take inspired action. And it doesn't mean action. It doesn't mean doing what other people are telling you to do, or what the rule book says, or what, you know, doesn't feel or resonate with you. It means that you're taking inspirational action that feels resonant to you and to your belief in the trust that you have with spirit. It means that, you know, if you get a download to create a new offering, or to go to a particular restaurant for dinner, or to go to a shop, or to take your laundry in, you don't know why you're receiving that, but you're going to actually do the things that you receive instead of just like thinking about them and then talking yourself out of them. That's inspired action, right? So you happen to go to this restaurant or to this laundromat, and potentially there, because you listened and took inspired action on what you received, is the opportunity, is the next step, is the next thing that was brought to you, right? So like everything that I've done in my business has on some level come from inspired action. I receive a message that says, Tamara, do this. And I'm like, okay, even when I don't know, even if it makes no sense, especially if it makes no sense, because it often means that I need to get uncomfortable and do something I've never done. And like, that's how 3 books get written. That's how a podcast gets started. That's how multiple 6 figures in my business has come to be, is simply receiving what it is that I'm meant to be doing on my path and just continuing on and taking inspired action every day. I have the vision of what my desire is. I feel it in every ounce of my being. I trust fully in the creator, my source, in being in this co-creative partnership in making this happen. My friend Matthew Patty from Australia, he's been on 2 podcasts. You should know him by now. He's staying with me. And, you know, he said, you know, for every step forward you take, God takes 3. And I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I just want to say that all the time because it's so true, right? You are never walking alone. When you're walking towards your desired highest vibrational frequency, that is what you're here for, your fulfillment, your stardust. I can promise you an inspiration in an open space, God is walking with you and bringing these things into existence for you and for the people that you're here to serve, because it is so much more. It's bigger than that. What you're doing, what you're putting out, these relationships that you're making, this love that you're creating, whether it's in business, in your personal life, or with somebody in a relationship, is about creating more love on this earth. And so we have the belief, we have the trust, we have the inspired actions, and that's how we shift our reality. That's the result that comes forward, right? Having guidance, knowing when you're in that trust state. So I trust my mentors. When they tell me to do something, I do it, even if it's uncomfortable. That's the piece. That's the piece that makes the most impact, right? So we trust all of the peeps, all of the messages. We're in this. We are in this, right? And guys, if you have ever been listening to me and you're like, man, oh man, I've been listening to Tamara since she started. This podcast has been going on since November of last year. What? It's been a year. I'm celebrating a year of the Own Your Intuitive podcast. And you hear me saying and inviting you, saying like, message me, let's bring you in. Let's co-create together. If this message hits you and you're like, this has been a yes for a while, but I've been too afraid. These are the inspired actions that create, a new life and change in whatever it is that you currently see. So please, when you hear this podcast, if that is something that you have, let it go, release into it, know that it is right. Because we don't receive the messages if they're not meant for us for a particular reason. So I wanted to share the magical equation with you guys today again, because it is one of the biggest game-changing experiences that you will ever have in your life. It's in the book, The Blind Leap. And the blind leap is for every aspect of your life. Always jump into the known, because that is where the greatest expansion exists. I love you. I can't wait to talk to you next week, and have a magical, magical day. If you've been listening to the Own Your Intuitive podcast and you know you are ready to step into your stardust and to shine your light out into this world, but you don't know what your stardust is and you don't know how to bust through your blocks, I would love to jump on a call to find out if the Chakra Business Academy is the perfect place for you to grow into your light worker self, to step into this world as a spiritual entrepreneur, making a difference and making an impact. If you're interested, you can go to tamaraarnold.ca/application and we'll be on a call in no time, and you'll be taking steps into stepping into your stardust and making an impact in the world with the exact purpose that you were put on this earth to do.